Good day everyone. This is a topic of Group 3, the global demography and global migrations. I will discuss the global demography and global migrations. What is the populations and demography all about? Second, explain the theory of demographic transitions as it aspect global populations. Third is what is global migrations and contemporary world. The fourth is what are the four types of global migrations. The fifth, why there is a global migrations. The last one is what are the advantages and disadvantages of the sending and receiving countries. Global demography and global migrations. Population in the context of social science and demography. It is comprehensive aggregate of individuals, specific geographical regions, nation, or even the entire planet. It represents the sum total of all people within defined boundary, and a study of populations involved intricate analysis of numerous characteristics and dynamics that define them. The first is size, understanding the numerical count of individuals within a populations, and fundamental that involves estimating the total populations and its variations over time. The second is composition, examining the structure of populations in terms of age, sex, intensity, and other demographic attributes provide insight into its diversity, potential challenges, or opportunities. The third is distributions, investigating arrangement of population health and resource allocations and urban planning, as well as understanding and disparities between urban and rural areas. The fourth is growth, analyzing population's growth rates, including birth and death rates, and immigration and immigrants, is crucial for forecasting future trends and making informed policy decisions. The fifth is characteristics, assessing the socioeconomic, educational, and cultural characteristics of a population age and identifying needs and opportunities for development. The last one is interactions, studying how populations interact with their environment and with each other, essential predicting the impact of human activities and climate change.
So, what is demography? So, demography is a specialized field of study within the social science that is dedicated to systematic and scientific examination of human population. It delves into intricate details of population dynamics, providing valuable insight into the past and present of future societies. So, number one is birth and death rates. Demographers investigate the factors influencing birth and death rates, as well as implication of fertility and mortality pattern on population and growth. So, number two is migration. So, migration is understanding migration patterns both within the across border. It's essential for comprehending the mobility of population and its impact on society. So, number three is the age and sex structure. Analyzing the age and the sex distribution within the population helps in making prediction about future needs for healthcare and education. And the last is social service. So, the four is fertility and family structures. So, demographers study the pattern of family formation, including marriage, divorce, and childbearing, to assess their societal consequence. So, the five is prediction. So, utilizing the statistical methods, demographers creates population projection with the indispensable for long-term planning and policy formulation. And six is social economic implication. Demographic data is widely used to address complex social and economic issues such as labor force participation, aging population, and impact of demographics on market and economics. So, in essence of population and demographic are the strictly intertwined field that provide a comprehensive understanding of the human experience within the context of numbers, patterns, and changes over time. So these studies serve as invaluable tools for government, organization, and researchers in making informed decision, development policies, and addressing the ever-evolving challenges and opportunities presenting by diverse human population. That's all. Thank you.
Explain the demographic transition as its effect global population. Demographic transition possessed that which improves in health, mortality rates start up to drop faster than fertility rates. This result is short-lived increase in the family size due to the lag between mortality and fertility. Population will increase, the sheer increase in the number of individuals of country increase health needs. However, over time as fertility as rates decline, the proportion of orderly tends to increase a percentage of total population. And this change in population structure affects needs demand the healthcare services. Another factor affecting health needs is the epidemiological transition that countries go through. Epidemiological transition refers to the fact with economic development declines the fertility rates of disease profile in countries changes from a predominance of communicable disease, maternal and prenatal condition. Nutritionally deficiencies to one is which non-communicable condition account for a large part of the disease burden. This both the demographic affect the health needs and subsequently the health demands of the population, and this is turn to impact on health expenditures.
This is Decadit Hilo Christian Ken, and my topic is all about global migration in the contemporary world. This refers to the movement of people across national borders on a worldwide scale. It is driven by various factors, including economic opportunities, conflict, political instability, and the search for better living conditions. This phenomenon has significant social, cultural, economic, and political implications in today's interconnected world. Global migration involves people moving from one country to another, often across continents or regions for various reasons. Here's an explanation and example of it. In economic opportunities, many individuals and families migrate to countries with stronger economies in search for better job prospects, higher incomes, and improved living standards. Example, a software engineer from India might move to United States to work for a tech company due to better career opportunities. Example, in conflict and political instability. People often flee regions plagued by war, conflict, or political, seek safety in more stable countries. Example, in Syria, Syrian refugees have migrated to Europe countries to escape the civil war in their homeland. In better living condition, some individuals migrate to countries with better healthcare, education, or social service to enhance their quality of life. An example would be a family moving from a less developed nation to a developed one for access to superior healthcare and education.
The four main types of migrations are the labor migration, forced migration, international retirement migration, and internal migration. The labor migration is the movement of persons from one state to another or within their own country of residence for the purpose of employment. Crossing national borders to work is one of the key motivations behind international migration, whether driven by economic inequalities, seeking in employment, or both. So, overseas Filipino workers are a good example of labor migration. The Philippines is a developing country with a large population and a high unemployment rate. As a result, many Filipinos choose to migrate to other countries such as the United States, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates in search for better job opportunities. Second is forced migration. It's a involuntary movement of people who fear harm or death. Example of forced migration include the refugee crisis emerging from the Syrian civil war. If you don't know what refugees are, it's a person who has been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. Next, we have international retirement migration. It is the notion of retirees who decided to move either permanently or seasonally. Reason behind that is lower housing cost. So according to February 2023 study by Vanguard, 60% of retirees who move sell a home in a high-priced market and moved a cheaper local. And lastly, we have internal migration. It is a type of voluntary migration where people move within their own countries. International migration occurs when people move to other places within their own country.
Why there is global migration? Humanity has been mobile since the beginning of time. Some people relocate to pursue education, family, reunification, or employment opportunities. Some relocate in order to avoid violence, persecution, or widespread abuses of human rights. Others relocate into reaction to unfavorable consequences of climate change, natural calamities, or others. Environmental elements. More people than ever before are living abroad from their nation of birth. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. Population Division estimate that as of July 1, 2020, there will 281 million foreign migrants worldwide. Approximately 3.5% of the world's population is made up of migrants from other countries, up to from 12.8% in 2000 and 2.3% in 1980. Some people must migrate even if the majority voluntary. By the end of 2022, the United Nations Refugee Agency projected that 35.3 million refugees, of which 5.9 million were Palestinian refugees under the auspices of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. And 5.4 million were asylum seekers would be living in the globe.
Disadvantage for sending countries. Number one is labor force drain. Sending countries often experience brain drain when skilled and educated professionals immigrate. This can be detrimental to sectors like healthcare, education, where these professionals are in high demand. Second, dependency on remittances. Many sending countries rely heavily on remittances from their citizens working abroad. While these remittances provide income, they can also create dependency, leaving this nation vulnerable to economic fluctuation. Third, social family disruption. Migration frequently results in the separations of families as loved ones are divided across borders. This can have adverse effects on the emotional well-being and social fabric of sending countries. Fourth, human trafficking and exploitation. Irregular or undocumented migration exposes individuals to the risk of human trafficking, exploitation, and abuse. This leads to human rights violations and negative international image. Last is loss of cultural and social capital. As people leave their home countries, they take with them their culture, skills, and knowledge. Every time, this can result in a gradual loss of cultural and social capital for sending country.
Disadvantage for receiving countries. Number one, strain on public service. An influx of immigrants can strain public service such as healthcare, education, and social welfare. Overcrowded schools and hospitals may lead to increased waiting times and reduced quality of service for all residents. Number two, potentials for social tension. Large-scale immigration can sometimes lead to social tensions and conflicts, especially if there are cultural, religious, or language difference. These tensions can manifest in discrimination, xenophobia, or even violence. Number three, economic competition. Immigrants may compete with native-born citizens for jobs, potentially leading to wage suppression and job displacement, particularly in low-skilled sectors. Number four, challenges in integration. Ensuring the successful integration of immigrants into the host society can be a complex and costly process, which may require investments in language programs, employment service, and cultural integration initiatives. Number five, security concerns. Host countries must address concerns related to national security and border control, especially in the context of irregular or undocumented migration.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of the sending and the receiving countries? Advantage: economic growth. In the sending countries, one of the advantages is the immigrants often send money back to their home countries, which is known as remittance. This remittance can significantly contribute to the economy of the sending country. The funds sent by migrants can be used to support families, invest, and business, or contribute to local development, thereby fostering economic growth.
So that's all the report of Group 3. So, thank you.